born in Jamaica with nothing. I live in a wooden shed, zinc roof. We're from the trenches.
He's got to do something big.
Stop feeling sorry for you. Well, come on then. What's wrong with you?
Nothing.
Let's go.
Now, this is a massive fight.
Welcome to London and the O2 Arena. It is finally here. It is fight night for UFC 286. Edwards versus Usman, part 3. The trilogy is on, and it's for the welterweight championship of the world. It's an absolute pleasure to be in your company. I'm Adam Catterall. Nick Peet here, as always. And look at this. The number 5 ranked heavyweight in the UFC, becoming part of the BT Sport broadcasting team this evening, the one and only Mr. Tom Aspinall. Good to have you on our team for tonight's epic event. And Nick, how excited are we to have the UFC back on British soil?
Mate, we were spoilt last year with two fantastic cards here at the O2, of course, headlined by Tom himself. The atmosphere was just completely insane, but it's going to go up a notch tonight because we've got ourselves our first title fight on British shores with him defend. Listen, Michael Bisping was what, 7 years ago? 7 years we've waited. This place is going to erupt. Mate, I don't think I can hold it all in. It's going to be insane.
Listen, you can tell it's a good night. We've got a Sunday best on. We've got the suits. We've got the whistle. I've come as Eric Ten Hag, Manchester United manager. It's a big night. We're going to have a bit of a party. Let's just revisit, though, 12 months ago, mate. Let's have a trip down memory lane because it was you that were headlining here at the O2 last time out against Alexander Volkov, of course, last March. Sensational night for you. Talk me through the emotions of that night for you.
I mean, there's nothing quite like main eventing in your home country with the home crowd, with the absolute roar in this arena when it kicks off. You know, this is something that Leon Edwards is going to experience for the first time with the fans on his side. And they're walking out, you know, embracing it all. And that's exactly what Leon's got to do tonight. You know, give him a few with a 1-2 left up there on the big Russian slips. And the big takedown comes in.
Hey, tell you what.
That's what you pay your money for.
Moving like a flyweight there, big man, weren't you?
Definitely. And here's just the finishing touches on it. And then coming up in a second is going to be me doing possibly the worst cage jump the world has ever seen.
There it is.
Absolutely terrible.
You've never hopped a garden fence in your life, have you, doing things like that? Son?
Very slowly I was doing it, but the feeling of getting your hand raised in the O2 in front of the home crowd is something that not many people are experiencing, and I'm very lucky to have experienced it, and we're going to see that, hopefully, from our man Leon Edwards this evening.
And hopefully we'll see it again from you, not too far away, all right? But we'll talk about that a little bit later on in the programme. Let's talk about the main event, shall we? Welterweight Championship of the world is on the line. We've got a defending champion on British soil in Leon Edwards. He's taking on Kamaru Usman, the former champion, of course. It is a trilogy. Talk me through the styles. These guys know each other very, very well. How are you seeing this play out?
Very interesting. Both guys have fought each other, obviously, twice before. Between the first and the second fight, there was quite a long time in between, and the last one being not too long ago. Leon with the great striking technique, as always. Dangerous head kicks, which he experienced last time. And Kamaru Usman, predominantly a wrestler, but over recent years, striking's coming on a lot. Heavy top pressure. Great pressure from the top with the 1-2 and the heavy 1-2s and the big power shots from Kamaru Usman. And wow. Just dangerous stuff from both guys.
They've shared the best part of 8 rounds with each other, Nick. Kamaru Usman can take the confidence that he's probably won 5, maybe even 6 of those rounds. So that's the confidence that he'll take into this tonight. But the significant moments, round 1 up at Salt Lake City, where we had grappling exchanges and Leon Edwards came out on top, and round 5, the thing that has gone around the world, the viral moment, their headshot. That is the thing that he will be holding on to, knowing full well that he can hurt Kamaru.
Absolutely, and you know, it's all about what have you done for me lately. And Kamaru, of course, he's taken solace from the stack. He says he's won 6 rounds out of the 8 rounds that they've shared so far. But that doesn't matter. What matters is what was the last thing that happened between these two guys. Leon Edwards kicked him in the head. Kamaru Usman went to sleep with his eyes open. Whatever he says, that's playing in the back of his mind right now. And he wants to get in there. They want to get his hands on Leon as soon as he possibly can. Leon wants to keep that range because he wants to land big shots.
Well, mate, you're spoiling for a fight there, mate. You were twitching
with
and
you,
all
maybe
sorts
not
there.
Tom, obviously. obviously.
You're getting ready to rock and roll.
Between these two hungry men.
Listen, that's all coming up a little bit later on. That's the cherry on top of our cake tonight, and it's going to be an absolute cracker. The main card gets going from 9 p.m. on BT Sport Box Office. For further information of how you can purchase this, head to bt.com/sportboxoffice. We have got some sensational fights. That one that kicks off the main card in the middleweight division between Marvin Vettori and Roman Dolidze will be sensational. In the women's flyweight bout, we've got a big fight for title ramifications. Jennifer Meyer, she's been there, done it, and got the t-shirt, taking on the young gun that is Casey O'Neill. In the welterweight division, Gunnar Nelson back on familiar soil, taking on last-minute replacement Brian Barberena. And then check that out for a co-main event in the lightweight division. Justin Gaethje, Rafael Fiziev. Yes, it comes with an 18+ certificate. It is going to be outstanding. And then, of course, those two guys go at it for a third time. Welterweight championship on the line. Leon Edwards walking last. Kamaru Usman taking him on once again. It's going to be brilliant. All from 9 o'clock on BT Sport Box Office.
Welcome to BT Sport Box Office. Anyone can enjoy a BT Sport Box Office event, and you don't have to be a BT Sport customer, have a BT ID or a BT Sport login to do so. Here's how to buy using the BT Sport Box Office app. Follow the registration sign-up process and create an account. Once you're logged in, select the event you wish to watch and follow the instructions to purchase. You can pay with a credit or debit card and through your EE, O2 or 3 mobile bill. But if you've bought a BT Sport Box Office event before and already have an account, simply log in to bt.com/sportboxoffice and select the event you wish to buy. Once you've bought the event online, download the BT Sport Box Office app to your mobile or tablet. You can also access the event online through our web player, or to view on your TV, you can cast the app using Chromecast or AirPlay on supported devices. And finally, remember you only need to pay online if you want to watch the event on the BT Sport Box Office app. Enjoy the show.
Right, that's all coming up a little bit later on. Let's get stuck into the prelim, shall we, here on BT Sport. Your mate is going to be kicking us off. He's got big aspirations of obviously becoming the flyweight champion. It's Mohamed Mokaev taking on Rafael Fiziev.
Yeah, anybody who knows Mohamed Mokaev knows that this man was a champion before he ever stepped foot in the gym. This man is a special person. We all know that he's looking to be the youngest UFC champion ever. And as we can see on screen, the man is a fantastic striker. Mainly a heavyweight, mainly a grappler with a heavyweight pressure. Really strong on top and submissions from all different positions. From his back, from on top, great ground control, and his striking is improving every time.
Rafael Fiziev against him, Nick. We don't know too much about him. An alumni from Dana White's Contender Series. Some unanswered questions. Mo's got to be on his game tonight.
Absolutely, and you know, Mo wanted a ranked opponent. This guy isn't quite ranked, but look at the footage there. He's dangerous with his hands. He's got a sensational grappling game. He's got more submissions wins than Mo has even had fights, and he's from Nova and Yao, one of the greatest teams in the entire world, probably the best gym in all of Brazil.
I'm a little bit concerned about the dislocated shoulder. He's been out injured as Mo. He opted against surgery in order to push forward for this particular fight. Your thoughts on that?
Well, because I know Mo personally, I know what kind of guy he is, and the guy is going to take his rehabilitation very seriously. The guy's not out partying, the guy's not messing around, the guy is in the gym, doing his rehab, working on coming back, and obviously working on his fight and his technique and all the rest of it that he needs to do to get the win.
Just a final note on Mo. He has, hopefully, in a year from now, going to be involved in a title fight, and if he is, he could become the youngest UFC world champion.
He's got to stay active, he's got to keep winning. That's why he's not having a break, that's why he won't have the surgery. He needs to be available, because if something happens, if an opportunity arises for step in late notice to fight for the title, Mo Mokaev needs to be ready front of the queue.
Right, let's get down to the ring walk, shall we? And our commentary team, headed by John Anik.
Mohamed is a bright prospect, undefeated. And Rafael Fiziev says, I love to fight undefeated guys. In fact, I'm a thorn in the side of undefeated guys because I love to make them stumble and lose their undefeated careers. He also said it's actually easier to fight undefeated guys because they are yet to learn from the defeats. Now, coming into this, Rafael, 14 victories, 13 finishes, great submissions, a lot of knockouts on there as well, DC, and brimming with confidence.
Yeah, brimming with confidence in a very tough situation, right? Because when you come in against a guy like Mokaev, who has all this hype, generally you're brought in for a specific reason. This kid does not believe with one part of himself that he is here as cannon fodder for Mokaev. He believes that he is going to beat him. And when you look at his skill set and you look at his submissions, his ability to chase chokes, knowing that Mokaev is going to take him down, it presents opportunities. And it's in those holes that he spoke about that he thinks he will exploit Mokaev and take that toe from his record.
Local support for the Dagestan-born, Manchester, England-based flyweight contender Mohamed Mokaev. He was actually 12 years old when Jafel Filho made his pro debut, but Mokaev comes in undefeated tonight and once again prohibitively favored. Megan O'Leary. We'll see how it goes for him in UFC start number 4.
You know, he really believes that after this fight, he's just a fighter who's away from title contention. He believes in his skill set. He said, also my level of activity. This is essentially a day shy, but his 4th fight in a single year. So he feels like being able to compete at a high level consistently and continue to win will put him very close to that flyweight belt. Now, he said, some people think I'm boring. He has 6 finishes in his 9 career wins, but he said, I'm doing this for the longevity. I want to fight smart, so I want to ensure I'm not putting myself in danger in any of these fights, so I can get the belt, and I want to do this for a long time. So it was a really serious approach to each outing here in the Octagon.
And let's remember, he said, he's put his stall out that he's going to be the youngest champion in UFC history. He said, I want to fight Ryan's guys, but they're all avoiding me. He said, Matt Schnell, Tim Elliott, David Dvorak, and Suma Darji were all offered fights against me, but they turned him down.
You know, Mokaev is the type of guy that believes that he's going to be a champion, but he also does a good job of keeping everything in perspective. He does not look past people. He recognizes the challenge in front of him and believes that he's going to get it done.
All right, back live inside the O2 Arena here in London, England, as we get ready for this flyweight prelim. Mohamed Mokaev, 22, youngest on the card, 8th youngest fighter on the roster, top to bottom. Jafel Filho is 29. Both fighters 5'7" tall, no issues on the scale. Reach advantage of 1.5 inches for the 8-1 favorite, Mohamed Mokaev. Here's Buff.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the O2 Arena in London, England for UFC 286. Edwards versus Usman 3. And now, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC flyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 14 wins, 2 losses. He stands 5'7" tall, weighing in at 125.5 pounds. Fighting out of Santa Fe, Bahia, Brazil, Rafael Pastor. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist, undefeated, holding a perfect professional record, 9 wins, no losses, 1 no contest. He stands 5'7" tall, weighing in at 126 pounds. Fighting out of Manchester, England, by way of Dagestan, Russia, Muhammad the Punisher Mokaev. And when the action begins, a referee in charge, Herb Dean.
Thank you, Red. Big stuff here.
Wait.
The UFC flyweight division, lights just went out overhead.
Oh, my goodness.
And they are not going to compete in the dark of that, I can assure you. Oh, of course. Well, I can tell you guys, yeah, have you ever experienced this?
Well, I have not, but I will say this, the cost of electricity in the UK is through the roof right now.
The UFC in the dark is
well,
different.
There are a lot of workers who are striking here. The teachers struck earlier this week, the public transportation workers, so hopefully the lighting guys are not striking.
Yeah, no, I doubt it's something like that, but on a real one, though, you know, the average Working class people are really struggling in the UK right now. It's difficult times for sure, but the crowd are loving it. Look at this.
Let me tell you something, though. It's good. It's good. It's a different situation, so you start to wonder. But then you got to wonder about the athlete, because this is abnormal. Mokaev is warmed up. He's ready. He understands that it's time to go. Filio's ready to go. They're not going to be okay with... There it is.
Here we go.
Thank goodness. Because if it goes on long, it's so abnormal. Dude, one glitch in the preparation of a fight can throw you off.
But not somebody like Mohamed Mokaev. We just saw a huge grin on his face. Jafal Filio, he's never been here before. This is fourth time, I think, for Mohamed fighting here or in the UFC, doing the splits.
What happened there? I mean, I've never done one like that.
Oh, come on.
I've tried. There it is. It's all back now.
We're back in the game.
We're back in.
Probably an anxious few moments for the lighting guy. We are back underway. Jafal Filio in white. Mohamed Mokaev is in red.
Yeah, the lighting guy might be looking for a job on Monday.
Mokaev said that he respects the guy, but he thinks that he just has average skills. Doesn't think he will present anything he hasn't seen before.
This fight clock is brought to you by Modelo.
You know, one thing that did concern me, if I'm cornering Filio, is that he accepts bottom position. You know, like a lot of old school Brazilian fighters, they foot scoot, they lie on their back. He does that a lot. He did that in the Contender against a wrestler, someone of the ability of Mokaev. It's not a good idea. It's not a good idea in general in mixed martial arts. But we saw the start from Mohamed. Striking looking sharp.
Filio's chasing chokes, though. Filio almost invites you into a shot because he's trying to chase down those chokes to submit you.
That was a nicely timed front kick. Sat down Filio.
Mokaev dealing with a shoulder injury coming in. UFC did tell him they would fund the surgery, but he opted for rehab on that AC joint, and that allowed him to make a relatively quick turn here tonight.
Often the best way, if you can avoid it and still fight to the best of your ability. You know, it's never the same.
Look.
Once they go in, but he's under the chin there.
He jumps on that choke. Mokaev's doing a really good job of just staying patient, not allowing him to drag him all the way to the ground. You see how Filio's trying to get his back to the mat? He's trying to get him all the way down so he can just start to feed his hips into him. He's got to finish his choke. Now he's safe.
Mohamed,
he might as well let this go.
Passed to the side before he went down. That was really technical. And the position that he's in right now is a terrible position for Filio. Had no choice but to give up his back there, which plays into the game of Mohamed. Partially taking the back now. He's got one hook in. The fence is preventing the second hook. But Mohamed's not bothered. Tied up one wrist, teeing off with the left.
That's telling you how Filio's done his homework. Like you said, Mike, he generally will just accept bottom position. You saw him immediately try to escape there because he recognizes the dangers of being underneath Mokaev.
Yeah, with 2 hooks in now. Defense is an issue still for Mohamed, trying to flatten out his opponent, lie on his back and get the choke. But he is clubbing in those punches.
Filio's got to be very careful here. He's got to continue to attack that choke hand. That right hand, he cannot let it get free.
Mokaev's last win came in Abu Dhabi last October. Earlier this week, it was announced we'll be back there on Yas Island for UFC 294 coming up this October.
I tell you, man, Abu Dhabi in October is hot. It is hot out there, John. It's nice.
Oh, yeah.
But it is hot.
Cut weight walking.
For a guy that wants to try to golf, it is hot. Arm triangle.
Under 2 minutes here to go, round 1. Early submission attempt for Filio. It's been Mokaev since.
Every time, though, he's looking for that neck. Mohamed knows, though, he's a very talented grappler. Of course, the wrestling background, but the jiu-jitsu as well. Just all in all, a sensational grappler. Tried to pass guard there, but wasn't able to. Very, very long amateur background for Mohamed Mokaev.
Reported 23-0.
Yeah.
Sounds like too many amateur fights.
Nah, you never have too many. You know, you look at some professional boxers. They've had hundreds of amateur fights.
Keeps collecting that far wrist.
Yeah.
And that's what it's allowing him to control Filio.
The Dagestani handcuff.
I don't like calling it that, man. That's wrist control, man.
I know it is.
Control, man.
They called it. I
love the Dagestanis, but dog, y'all can't give them the wrist control. That's just wrist control, man.
I know. But they did claim it. They did start
claimed
calling
it. Yeah,
it
they claimed
Dagestani handcuff. And I like it. Sounds better than wrist control.
Well, because they were doing it so much, right?
Khabib was clubbing people's heads.
He's the one that goes, handcuff, take this. I'm like, dude, don't start this.
Yeah. Rather, wrist.
Mokaev is smashing this guy, though. Mokaev is really outclassing Filio right now.
Yeah, he is. And this is what I was talking about. He has a tendency to do this, to lie on his back, to play this game, to try and get Muhammad to fall into his guard.
Muhammad's not falling into no chokes right now, though. He seems so aware when he does enter.
Muhammad's on fire. You know, he's clearly in control of this round. Other than a couple of guillotine attempts from Filio, there hasn't been too much success in this round for him.
All right, strong response over the second half of that round by Mokaev. We are back to London in 30 seconds after this word from DraftKings Sportsbook. Anything can happen when fighters step into the octagon because, as we all know, there are no guarantees in UFC until now. New DraftKings Sportsbook customers can get in on tonight's action with this great offer and take down your own win. Just download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, sign up with the promo code, and bet $5 to get $200 instantly. Action so good. Why bet on UFC anywhere else?
If you fall down, put your feet on your hips and get back up. Do not accept bottom position. Put your feet on your hips, get back up.
Seconds out.
Well, another high-level bantamweight clash set to headline UFC Fight Night next Saturday, this time from San Antonio, Texas. Bona fide finishers Corey Sandhagen and Marlon Chito Vera will exchange in this pivotal main event, the entire event. Live on ESPN, main card, 7 p.m. Eastern.
And you've got to think that's going to have title fight implications. Chito Vera right there, taking on one of the best, Corey Sandhagen. Interesting clash of styles, but that will be fireworks.
Well, Chito Vera has to, at some point, get an opportunity if he beats Sandhagen.
Yep.
Because he's fighting everyone, and he's staying very active.
And let's remember, and I love Sean O'Malley, so I hate to bring it up, but he does have the victory over Sean O'Malley.
Well, Chito just is fighting everybody still.
It's incredible.
And bantamweight is incredible these days. Talk about a division that's on fire. You've got Aljamain Sterling, Piotr Jan just lost to Marab, Sean O'Malley, Sandhagen, Henry Cejudo.
There were some in Muhammad Mokaev's inner circle who suggested he not take this fight against a guy who hadn't competed in the UFC, had a winning streak, no number next to his name. Speaks to Mokaev that he...
Yeah, he doesn't care.
It's always a risk. It's always a risk. You know, Muhammad's on fire. Essentially, it could be, you know, a lose-lose situation. You beat him. The perception from the casuals is, well, this guy wasn't even the UFC caliber. You know, if you lose, God forbid, then, again, doesn't look good. But Muhammad believes in himself, wants to be active, wants to earn those big fights.
That's what it's like with it, right? My confidence, like, it doesn't matter what happens, right? Even in our darkest moments, the biggest losses we ever had, no one can tell you, me, or any of the champions that they weren't as good as the next man. And that's what Mokaev feels like. Mokaev feels like regardless of who's out there, he can compete with him. But right now, he's allowing Filio to get some offense going, and that's going to just allow Filio to get confidence.
But Filio's fighting back a bit in this round. The crowd's making some noise.
Yeah, that was Bruce. Look at that. No, Bruce was literally walking around giving...
Oh, really?
Yeah, well,
my move. I'm the one that stands up and puts the hands in the air. Thank you, Bruce. Sit down with your fancy suits. Who doesn't love Bruce Buffer? Let's be honest. Come on.
Hey, Mokaev does a good job of just sliding out of the way of that leg kick. He hasn't been able to land one.
Yeah, and Filio's been landing some heavy kicks as well. So far, Mokaev not having too much output this round. And I think in general, Filio, his corner's probably like, hey, listen, you got to go to work here, son. You didn't do much in round one. Look at this. This is a different Filio here. Jafel really emptying the tank.
Filio's being very aggressive. And notice how he keeps Mokaev going backwards. That's much more difficult to shoot for a takedown when you're busy pressing. It's easier when you're the guy going forward. You're setting the tempo. When you're on the defensive, it's hard to just level change and shoot takedowns.
Introducing UFC Venom Fight Night Midnight Edition, available now for a limited time at UFCstore.com. Get yours today. Under 2 minutes here in round 2.
I'm just throwing it out there. If Venom want to send me a free one of those, I'll accept it.
It's a good color on it.
It's nice.
If you're Filo, that's what you got to do. You got to defend. You can't try to choke him. Beautiful job there by Mokaev. He had his hands locked. He then drives him up to the side of the octagon to get to the body to start trying to work to finish the takedown. Head position by Mokaev. Look for him to step in the front with his right leg to try to turn him down to the mat. Jafel, though, sorry, he's having a difficult time because Jafel's pushing at the elbow, not letting him get his hands locked.
Correct, that's what I was going to say. Defended that very well. You've got to remember, Mokaev is a serious wrestling talent.
That was nice.
Yeah, there
changed it up. He went single leg that time. Opposed to wrestling him at the body, he went to the high crotch, got the corner. Once you get the corner, you disappear. Your body gets from underneath your opponent, then you just go off the angle. Great job.
And you know this, DC, I don't need to tell you, but that's the beauty of being a proper wrestler. As opposed to someone that learned a few takedowns in mixed martial arts. You know, you've got so many different chains, attempts, attacks, you know, that you can go to from different positions. A lot of guys that learn wrestling through mixed martial arts, like myself, you know, they'll know a body lock, a double leg, a single leg, and trips, you know what I mean?
When I
a real wrestler like you, it's different.
When we started coaching at AKA, we made them get wrestling shoes, singlets, and wrestle top and bottom, everything. They had to learn to wrestle before they could wrestle for MMA. Mokaev knows how to wrestle for MMA, and he knows how to just straight wrestle.
All right, round 3 coming up from London.
É o seguinte, baixa a porrada nesse cara.
Great. Now just lay your hands on him. Keep the pace. Lay your hands on him.
Senta aqui.
Have a seat. Have a seat. Pay attention.
Se concentra, mantém focado.
Stay focused. Don't lose your focus. Come over here and sit down. Listen to me. You're going to beat him standing, not on the ground. You're going to beat this man standing. You're doing much better standing. Pressure, punches and kicks, avoid the takedown. He's going to be desperate and try to take down. He's going to try to take you down. Be aware of that. Beat him on his feet. Fight yours. Forget about guillotines.
Well, Dwayne Johnson's Project Rock and UFC are launching a co-branded Project Rock X UFC BSR3 training shoe designed with impact-absorbing cushioning that works to absorb explosive impact. These shoes are made to help power you from the ground up, available at UFC Store. Michael Jafel Filio's corner, they don't want him grappling, they don't want him accepting bottom position, they want him striking.
They want him striking, John, but he can't stay upright. Mokaev just went right to the takedown right away.
Well, exactly, because there's 2 men in the fight. It's all well and good having your plan, but when the opponent's a man with the wrestling caliber of Muhammad Mokaev, very hard to stay on your feet. And look at this, a perfect position. 30 seconds into the round, he's got the back, he's got the body triangle, so essentially now he's got 4 minutes to work the choke.
It seems like he's not on the great angle. Filio's back is facing the mat. If Mokaev could get him flat on his chest, then he can really have the right angle to finish that choke.
Well, he's got it back again now, but you were absolutely right, DC. You want to take the back, not take the side.
Yeah, you can't do it from the side. Not strong enough angle.
Took the side. It's not an expression. Well done, Filo, though. Nice escape there.
He's got to break the lock. Gets face.
All right, back to the feet, 3.5 to go. Another shot from Mokaev. Too easy.
You see it though. That's what I'm talking about. He shoots it's like an L. He goes in and then across. It's like an L.
Yeah.
And Filio just falls off of him. The more he sprawls, the more he's lost in that transition.
And I will say this, while the crowd probably wanted them to engage in the stand-up affair, you have to admire the beauty of the technique. I mean, as you just said, Daniel, that was pitch perfect, textbook stuff, cut the angle perfectly, and took him right back down. I mean, that's dominance. But it takes two to tango. Filo still in this fight and making him work, and he's escaping, he's scrambling well, he's defending the chokes. And
probably still has visions of becoming the youngest champion in UFC history. He'll be 23
in
July.
You're gonna watch the knee. Knee. That could be deep.
That looks deep.
If the hips are past the knee, it's hard to see. There it is. They are. And he's got 2 minutes 30. Now the angle's perfect, but that could be bad. That's tight.
That's Mokayev's trying to push him forward, get him off that lock. He's got to get his hips into it.
It's hard because what you got to do is take the right foot.
Oh, he's really good.
Mohammed.
Look at his knee.
He's going to turn. I mean that's textbook. Look at that. You see the pressure. You see the tension. But you see Mohammed not tapping. He's going to take his right foot and kick on the foot. Oh my God! He's bending backwards.
Oh, Mokayev just knocked
he's out.
Mokayev just was not willing to tap, but I think he's hurt though. He's grimacing.
He's going to feel that tomorrow, but the man has the heart of a lion.
You can see Mokayev grimacing. Look at him, he's still doing it.
And Jafel Filho appears exhausted after that effort.
Yeah, friend of mine.
If he could get to his feet, if Filho can get to his feet, throw a couple leg kicks, Mokayev may be in trouble, man.
I was going to say a friend of mine never tapped to a knee bar just like that, and he was never the same again with his knee.
Wow.
Yeah, it can have serious consequences.
Well, he's up now, though. I didn't know if he'd be able to get up. It looked like he was really struggling.
I mean, let's be honest, the knee doesn't bend that way, and it was bending that way.
I can't believe this kid didn't tap.
Oh, and now trying to work his way maybe under that chin of Filho. Not a great angle.
It's not a good angle, no, but he's forcing the position, maintaining top control. He's going to drag him away from the fence to put him flat on his back now.
He's doing exactly what he needs to do to stay safe. Not allowing for Filho to get back to his feet to do anything that can further damage that knee. I would not be surprised if Mokayev is kind of... Oh, actually threw that leg in there. Look at it.
Now Mokayev trying to turn the tide on Filho.
30 seconds.
He's on one leg, John. Look at
one leg indeed.
He knew he was hurt.
Still climbs up the fence, though. Don't jump down. I mean,
Mohammed Mokayev, still undefeated and still 22 years of age.
I mean, I said the heart of a lion, but the way he got back to his feet there, you can see the pain that he's in. So that must have been agony, but he just refused to quit and gets the choke in the last few seconds.
All right, now a look at tonight's freaky fast finish brought to you by Jimmy John's.
He's just different, right? He's different than Filho. Filho's willing to tap whenever it got super tough. He didn't. Because imagine, this submission is not as bad as the knee bar that he was in.
It's not. It's very painful. It's very uncomfortable. But it's just pain. It will not put you to sleep. And he taps pretty quick. Now, the knee bar attempts, Mohammed was in that for a long time. We saw when he tried to get back to the feet. He's stumbling. He can't walk. Look at the limp here. This looks bad. I am worried for him. That is not a good sign. Who knows? Maybe it's not as bad as it looks, but there's a potential of serious surgery and a large, long layoff.
And we mentioned the AC joint issue he's also dealing with in his shoulder. Nice to at least see Mohammed Mokayev walking and putting some pressure on that leg. All right, now it is time for the official decision. It's brought to you by Proper Number 12 Irish Whiskey. Here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Herb Dean has called a stop to this contest at 4 minutes, 32 seconds of round number 3. Declaring the winner by submission due to a rear naked choke and still undefeated, Mohammed the Punisher Mokayev.
Guys, I'm here with Muhammad Mokaev. Muhammad, that knee bar was so tight. That lock was in. How's the knee feeling right now? Take a look at it up here. How did you not tap to this? Like, how's your knee feeling right now?
Wow, Herb nearly stopped it before I tapped. Like, he thought I was gonna, but I know he's gonna gas out, but knee was cracking every second, you know. But I came here with injury shoulder. I want to put massive performance, like, at least a show for English fans and around the world. Thank you for the support. I love you.
Let's talk about the resiliency, because not only do you survive that knee bar, you get up and you submit him with a rear naked choke. Take a look. How do you get to do that on one leg, essentially?
To be honest, this year I need to finish. This is my 12th fight. I mean, 4 fights in 12 months inside UFC Octagon. I'm 22 years old. I will be ranked number 10 after this fight. I don't know, after John Jones, who else done this?
Well, that was an incredible display of skill and heart. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Muhammad Mokaev.
Wow, Muhammad Mokaev getting the job done with a rear naked choke in the third after serious adversity. You know the guy. We were screaming, tap, 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 and he was having absolutely none of it, Tom.
Wow, what did I say about this man's mentality? This man is different to the rest. The stuff that this guy's been through in his personal life, the guy has been through so much adversity. The guy's not going to give up with something like that. His mental strength, his physical strength. 95% of people, at least 99% of people would have definitely tapped to that technique.
Talk to me about Jafiel Filov, because for a UFC debut, he absolutely brought the party. He must be going on thinking, a bit special this game up here at the UFC.
And he turned up, he was absolutely sensational, but when the going got tough, he chose to tap. That was the difference. That's a champion's mentality. And by the way, we see Mokaev do that last year as well, in October, submission, last 30 seconds. I said, a statement performance, flyweight division on notice.
Absolutely, I'm so glad that we got it after the power cut at the start of the fight as well. You all thought that you were getting 2 hours of me. You lucky devils, you got to see a cracking fight like that, and we've got more cracking fights on the way. Do not go anywhere.
Tessa's gone mad. Expensive bar! Of course he scored! Unbelievable!
Come get it. Come get it, come get it, come get it.
Things are getting serious.
Come get it. Go get it, go get it, go get it.
Bring it up.
Come get it, come get it, come get it.
You won't want to miss it. Let's go.
Come get it.
What are we waiting for?
We're ready.
Are you?
We play. We play on BT Sport.
Right, really big show tonight, guys. Ree, Coley, you okay? Macca? Owen Hargreaves?
Why don't I have a nickname? They've all got cool nicknames.
What kind of thing are you looking for?
Greavesy?
There's only one Greavesy, mate.
Hargreavesy.
Hargreavesy? That's not it.
Oh? Michael Owen's Mo? I could be O.
Tessa's gone mad. Expensive bar! Of course he scored! Unbelievable!
Come get it. Come get it, come get it, come get it.
Things are getting serious.
Come get it. Go get it, go get it, go get it.
Bring it up.
Come get it, come get it, come get it.
You won't want to miss it. Let's go.
Come get it.
What are we waiting for? We're ready. Are you? We play.
We play on BT Sport.
Right, really big show tonight, guys. Ree, Coley, you okay? Macca, Owen Hargreaves.
Why don't I have a nickname? They've all got cool nicknames.
What kind of thing are you looking for?
Greavesy?
There's only one.
We're at the O2 Arena in London tonight for UFC 286, coming up from 9 o'clock. Of course, that main card, headlined by Leon Edwards and Kamaru Usman. Right now, though, we're in the middle of the prelims and getting excited. Tom, for a UFC debut, cast your mind back to when you first made that walk under the UFC banner.
The man is going to be a nervous wreck, let me tell you. But the same as any other fight, that's the way you got to treat it. You got to treat it exactly the same as any other fight. It's no different. It's the same acting. You can't build it up to be something that is not in your head. It's just another fight.
And of course, we're talking about Sam Patterson, a man that has done it on home soil. Boy out of Watford, went through the Contender Series, he's earned his stripes, and tonight gets to make his debut in front of the British fans.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a guy that could be the best kept secret in all of UK MMA. We just don't know how good he is, these fans here, because he's built his entire career in the Middle East, in Russia. He's super talented, a guillotine king. Do not blink.
And Yanal Amuz is the person that will be standing across him in that octagon. It's set to be an absolute firecracker in the lightweight division. Let's get down to those ring walks and feel that atmosphere.
All right, so here's the undefeated Yanal Amuz, lives in Israel, trains in Fairfield, New Jersey, under the guise of Marat Keshtov at K-Dojo Warrior Tribe DC. That was the first gym Khabib Nurmagomedov visited when he came to the United States of America. Pretty good kinship between pupil and head coach there.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, coach said he sees some similarities. He said maybe Yanal isn't as finished as Khabib is when Khabib got here, but he does see similarities. Yanal actually told us at the fighter meeting that he feels like he's a better fighter. He will not underestimate Sam, but he does feel like he's better. He doesn't see much of the threat that many see in the fight. Right. He said that he wants to use his feints and his head movement to make sure that his head movements are quick to close distance. He does not want to be in the middle. He wants to be all the way in or all the way out. And when he enters, head movement and enter quickly to get to Sam. So he's got his ideas, he's got his plan. Let's see if he can implement it tonight.
Yeah, listen, obviously, I think wrestling is going to be a big part of the game plan. Sam Patterson is 6'3", very tall for the weight class, of course. You know, I was talking to Marat in the gym the other day as well, and he said, regarding Yanal, he said, I have never seen somebody that learns so fast. He said, listen, of course, he's a beginner. He's 6-0. He'd never wrestled before, but he learns so quickly, and that's the sign of a true future champion. And talk about athletic prowess. I think that was a cartwheel with no hands. that was impressive.
Training under the watchful eye of David Lee at Team Crossface, here is Sam Patterson. And I'm thrilled to bring in my broadcast partner, John Gooden, on this one, his teammate. Now, Sam Patterson, heretofore, has dropped the Future moniker. He was wearing a Future t-shirt this week with a line through it. He says the future is now. A lot of eyeballs on Sam Patterson here tonight, Johnny.
He's here. He's been wanting this opportunity for a long time. He took the hard road to get here. Been fighting internationally, traveling, fighting guys in their backyard, big records as well, like it's like 85 and 40 something opponents' records. David Lee, you see in his corner there, he's made the walk for the UFC in the past. The kid does everything with a smile on his face though, gents. Dedication personified. Everything is noted down, every round, every mile run. Everything has been detailed, fight to fight to fight. It's measured. This is where he deserves to be. I've seen this kid, I've seen what he can do, and this is a big night for our gym, big night for Sam. I think this is just the beginning.
Of course, the first time we saw him was on the Contender Series last year. got a rear naked choke in round 2. Struggled a little bit in round 1, but he said, listen, you know, Dana White was sitting right there. You know, it caused a little bit of anxiety and nerves. Of course, when Dana's there, he holds the keys to the universe. But in round 2, put together a beautiful series of chokes, ended it with the rear naked, as we said. Very tall, said he knows how to use it. That's the key. It's all well and good being 6'3", but if you don't do straight shots, if you don't lower your base, if you get taken down, no point being 6'3", but Sam says, nah, that ain't the case with me.
All right, back live in London as we get ready for the lightweight. Sam Patterson spent some time at the UFC PI. They told him he is a specimen for lightweight. The measurables back that up, to be sure. 6'3" with a 78-inch reach. He will have a whopping 10-inch reach advantage over the Israeli Yanal Ashmouz. Here now, the American Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, an undefeated mixed martial artist holding a perfect professional record. 6 wins, no losses. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 155 pounds. Fighting out of Fairfield, New Jersey, USA, by way of Kfar, Kama, Israel, Yonai Red Fox Ashkins. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record. 10 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw. He stands 6 feet 3 inches tall, weighing in at 155 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Watford, England, Sam Patterson. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Mark Goddard.
Mark Goddard, our referee for this one. The first of 2 straight you're going to see right now in the lightweight division. The beautiful Carly Baker with us here in London, England, as usual. Sam Patterson's in the building, facing fellow newcomer Yanal Ashmouz. This fight clock is brought to you by proper number 12 Irish whiskey. Ashmouz in white, Patterson in red.
Patterson don't want no part of that handshake. I like that.
No touch.
I kind of like when they don't touch a
Me
time.
too.
I've touched a time or 2 in my life, but
listen, if it's a 5-round fight,
touch.
it's a back and forth war. Maybe at the start of the 5th round, but you know, normal fight, start of it. Get out of town. I'm gonna smash your face in.
One thing you won't see from DC is the pre-final round hug.
I don't really like doing that too much. I think I've been beat a few times and I've done it when I'm tired, to hit the head 100
That's what I always think. The guy that comes out and tries to touch gloves at the start, it's like, hey, I'm a good guy. Take it easy on me. They're a little scared, they're a little anxious.
Yeah.
So we asked Yanal Ashmouz about getting inside, and obviously he had a lot of answers: footwork, speed, head movement, feints, but he acknowledged Sam Patterson not as his toughest opponent to date, so we'll see how it plays out.
Well, stylistically, it could be, though, because getting on the inside is going to be the plan, but it is going to be an issue.
Yep, it'll be difficult if Sam fights the way he's supposed to fight.
Still undefeated, spoils the debut.
What a right hand.
Patterson caught the kick, a massive right hand, and then after that, a succession of very hard, severe blows, one after the other, until eventually Sam Patterson was out cold.
I have written on my fight card in all caps, finisher, and Yanal Ashmouz is certainly that. DC, you seem stunned.
John, did you see how he exploded into that counter? That was crazy. The speed at which he caught that kick and exploded into Sam.
Patterson.
What if Patterson is still rocked?
He still thinks he's fighting.
He doesn't know that he's lost. He's refusing to accept it, and he's very confused.
Oh, my goodness.
It's such a shame.
He's still trying to grapple.
His coach is telling him to sit down.
That's David Lee there.
Yeah, he's telling him it's over. I mean, Ashmouz literally just had one of the most explosive debuts I've seen in a long time.
And I thought it was a late stoppage.
I mean, let's take a look here. Catches the kick, forces him down, lands a right hand, or it was a left up, pardon me, as he's going down. And then from there, I mean, he just unleashed one after the other. Look, catches the kick, misses with that one. Let's go, left hook. I mean, that is creative, and that's a killer instinct. And talk about killer instinct. When he landed on top there, I mean, he just went to town, threw about 30 punches, probably took too long. I mean, we see in a moment the head starting to bounce off the canvas. They're heavy, heavy shots. And there it is. Sam Patterson was asleep on the final.
I consider Mark Goddard the gold standard. Way too long a leash, in my humble opinion, for Sam Patterson tonight. Now for the official decision brought to you by the United States Marine Corps. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Mark Goddard calls a stop to this contest at 1 minute 15 seconds of the very first round. Declaring the winner by knockout, United Red Fox Ashes.
Wow. I'm here with Usman. How does it feel to make your UFC debut, come into enemy territory, and make it in that fashion?
Woo! Nothing more, man. Nothing to say. I have hands like Mike Tyson.
You started a little slow. It seemed like you were trying to get your footing in the octagon. Was that the plan, to wait and kind of see what Sam was going to be throwing?
Yep, I was waiting for him, to feel him, how he goes, like his speed and stuff. So, I waited for my moment, and you see what happened. It's good.
Let's take a look up here. He threw a kick. You threw a right-hand counter. Then this left hook just hurt Sam bad. You jump on him and you finish him. Was that something you saw in training and preparation, that you could counter those kicks from out distance?
To be honest, no. But, we know he's tall and he goes back. So we did like combinations going forward and punching. So, that's what I tried to do. So, it worked.
On Wednesday in the fighter meeting, you said you expected this type of performance. How good does it feel to not only say you expect it, but to deliver it and have a finish like this?
Well, it's like a dream come true, man. I just came back 2 years ago and I'm here standing, brought some knockout. I'm the happiest man today.
UFC debuts don't get much better. Congratulations, my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the Red Fox. Usman.
The Red Fox. I'm just calling the Red Fox.
Wow, what an unbelievable performance from Yanal Ashmouz, the Red Fox. Quality nickname. Listen, I don't think any of us saw that coming. Both guys making debut. That's an explosive finish, Tom.
Well, the Red Fox came out here in London and silenced the home crowd. Massive right hand with a follow-up with a left hook over the top, and just dangerous killer instinct against a man who was longer than a weekend in jail in Sam Patterson.
Listen, the thing is, when you're fighting someone with that amount of range that Sam Patterson has, it's about getting underneath those jabs, getting inside those long legs, and he most certainly did it. And as Michael Bisping just said on commentary there, catching the leg and throwing the big left hook at the exact same time, really creative striking.
Yeah, well, they actually come over with the right hand first, which slightly missed, just perfectly timed as the tall guy threw the kick, which is the perfect thing to do. Followed up with the left hook, and then dangerous ground and pound when it hit the deck.
Nick, regarding the finish, obviously, we all know that Mark Goddard is the absolute gold standard when it comes to refereeing. You just felt there maybe could have been one or two extra shots there that didn't really need to be landed on Sam.
Yeah, and listen, Mark's his biggest critic, and I think he'll watch that back and realise he's made a mistake there, because the scenes at the end where we've seen Sam was trying to fight Mark Goddard, he didn't know what day it was, his head wasn't clear at all. I think they're worrying signs. I think that means he took a little bit too many shots in there. Mark should definitely have stopped the fight sooner, but he gave him every opportunity. With all due respect, Sam was trying to move, he was trying to get out of position, but he was also getting landed with clean shots.
Yes, he was. A phenomenal victory for the Red Fox on debut here in the UFC. Stick with us. Plenty more fights to come next here on BT Sport.
Texas gone mad. It's Benzema! He scored! Unbelievable!
Things are getting serious.
Come get it. Go get it, go get it, go get it.
Bring it up.
Come get it, come get it, come get it.
You won't want to miss it. Let's go.
Come get it.
What are we waiting for?
We're ready.
Are you? We play.
We play on BT Sport.
Right, really big show tonight, guys. Ree, Coley, you okay? Macca? Owen Hargreaves?
Why don't I have a nickname? They've all got cool nicknames.
What kind of thing are you looking for?
Greavesy?
There's only one Greavesy, mate.
Hargreavesy.
Hargreavesy? That's not it.
Oh, Michael Owen's Mo. I could be O.
Tessa's gone mad. It's Benzema! Of course he scored! Unbelievable!
Come get it. Come get it, come get it, come get it.
Things are getting serious.
Come get it. Go get it, go get it, go get it.
Bring it up.
Come get it, come get it, come get it.
You won't want to miss it. Let's go.
Come get it.
What are we waiting for?
We're ready.
Are you? We play.
We play on BT Sport.
Right, really big show tonight, guys. Ree, Coley, you okay? Macca? Owen Hargreaves?
Why don't I have a nickname? They've all got cool nicknames.
We're at the O2 Arena in London for UFC 286. Currently in the middle of the prelims, we've had two phenomenal finishes. One from Mohamed Mokaev, the other from the Red Fox, stopping Sam Patterson on debut. For British fight fans, still lots to come, including Chris Duncan from Scotland and Jack Shaw headlining the feature bout of the prelims from Wales. They'll be with us very, very shortly, but we've got a little bit of time before the next fight kicks off, so it's only fair that we get stuck into what is to come tonight. The reason why we are here is, of course, that main event, the welterweight championship of the world on the line in the UFC. Leon Edwards is defending against former champion Kamaru Usman. You can just start to feel now the buzz in the room is starting to go up a level with expectation.
Oh, definitely, and these UK fans are something else. The guys have been in since the very, very first fight. You know, this place is packed out already. Like you say, still halfway through the prelims, and what a night it's going to be. What a lucky time to be a UK MMA fan.
Just want to get some insight from you, because you've headlined here. So you've been in the bowels
Twice.
Okay, all right. But you've been in the bowels of this place whilst it's been going off upstairs. People have been knocking people out, submitting people. The atmosphere's absolutely buzzing. How does that affect your fight preparations? Because you know you've got to walk last.
Yep, and when you're in them changing rooms, believe it or not, you can actually feel the walls shaking. The whole building shakes with the roar in this place, and it's absolutely unbelievable. Like, you can't train for that feeling. To walk out in front of a home crowd, the pressure that's on you, the excitement, the buzz around it all, to be a UK fighter and be a UK main eventer in front of a home crowd is something really, really special.
That's the thing that both men have actually got to contend with in this main event, haven't they? Coming into this title fight, Leon, he's going to get a pop. He's going to get the love, the adoration. You can get carried away with that. But also Kamaru Usman, we know from what we've seen throughout the course of the obligations this week, he's going to get booed. He has had that before in Miami when he fought Jorge Masvidal. How do you think that, when these boys make the walk through the curtain, how do you think that is going to affect the fight?
I don't think it affects Kamaru in any way whatsoever. As you say, he's experienced it before. He's a solid pro. He's been around this game an awful long time. You know, he's experienced everything there is to experience, so it won't bother him one iota. It's all about Leon Edwards. Can he handle a moment? Can he keep his emotions in check? It wasn't too long ago he walked out here and got booed in front of his own fans just a few years ago. Now he's the main event. Now everyone is here for him. He's just got to control the emotions and just produce the goods once the cage door closes, get down to business.
Yeah, as the week has progressed, Leon seems to have really grown into the week. But Kamaru's really impressed me as well. The way that he's handled all this, so calm, so cool, so collected. A guy that's been there, done it, and got the T-shirt in the UFC.
Yeah, as Nick said, this guy's done it a million times before. Do you know what I mean? He's one of the best welterweights to ever step foot in the octagon. Maybe between him and GSP, the guy's seen it all, he's done it all. It's a home crowd here tonight. It's not going to faze him, it's not going to bother him. All the pressure rests on Leon's shoulders this evening.
And look at that, just on cue, you can hear the Rocky Balboa music kicking off around the O2 Arena. And there he is, he's got his own headphones in, just blocking out the noise that he'll probably be able to hear from upstairs as Leon Edwards enters the O2 Arena with security, Steve. Taking him towards his dressing room. The preparations will begin. We'll be seeing him a little later on as he headlines that main card tonight, which gets underway from 9. Right, back to the prelims, shall we? We've had two fantastic fights with Mohamed Mokaev getting that finish, and of course the Red Fox doing the business as well against Sam Patterson. Now we need to turn our attention further north. Let's get into Scotland, shall we? Because Chris Duncan's about to make that walk in a moment or two. And this is a guy that's had a little bit of adversity. He's had a couple of goals at Dana White's Contender Series, but boom, in he comes, gets the job done, and now he gets an opportunity to fight in front of British fans.
That's right, I know Chris Duncan personally. I've been in the gym with him before, obviously not trained with him with my massive weight advantage over him. But let me tell you, this guy's a dog. This guy's most dangerous when he is hurt, as we can see in this fight. He got rocked here, come back with a massive right hand in a second to just put his opponent's lights out. The guy is really dangerous, and when he's most dangerous is when he's hurt himself.
And there's a lot of Scottish fans that have made the trip. We met loads of them yesterday at their weigh-ins and press conferences this week. The flags are littered all over the O2 Arena. He's going to have a lot of support tonight. Again, there's another one. Got to control those emotions because he's in against a seasoned fighter in Omar Morales.
Yeah, they've come down in big numbers because there's 3 Scots on the card. But as you see there, Morales, he's a tough guy. He's very experienced, 37 years of age, been around this sport for an awful long time. He's had 2 back-to-back losses in the UFC. When you get someone backed up against the fence like that, when he's literally fighting for his career, it makes him incredibly dangerous. And he'll be lifted by the fact that the Red Fox has just silenced this room, and he'll be thinking, get me out there, I'm going to do the same thing.
But from our point of view, as fight fans, thirsty for a great fight, I can't see this being rubbish because both of these lads love to land big bombs.
Yeah, as I said, Chris Duncan is an absolute dog. That guy buzzes off being in a dogfight. When the fight gets hard, that's when Chris Duncan thrives, and it's going to be a great fight out there this evening.
Have you ever thought of going for face paint, war paint at the press conference? Obviously, Paul Craig made that famous with the old Braveheart. Now we've got Chris Duncan taking up the mantle.
It's not really my scene to be. I might get a little Atherton right across the forehead there, just representing the M46, you know what I mean? But yeah, no Scottish flags or anything like that.
You're going old school MMA rules there. Eastern European rules, getting sponsors tattooed on your face. What would you go for?
Well, I've got enough bad tattoos as it is. I've got to get a few of them covered up to be honest. I don't need any more of them put on, but yeah, staying clear of the bad tattoos for now.
Listen, there's a lot of people obviously excited as well. Just quickly, Jack Shore, just a quick word on Jack. He's going to be with us in the featured prelim. Pressure on him because he's stepping up to 145 pounds tonight.
Yes, and he's one of the best talents we've seen, come out of the UK in many years, and to lose at the bantamweight division, to put pressure on him. He's reinvented himself at the weight division above. I cannot wait to see him rebirth, reborn, and really pick up his career where he left off.
And he's in a proper fight. Makwanami Akani loves to come to the UK and spoil the party.
That is the fight, and I've been saying it all week. Every interview I've done when I've been asked about this, for me is the most exciting fight on the card. 2 clashes styles completely. Jack Shore's good everywhere. He's almost like now he's moved up to featherweight. He's like the featherweight GSP. The man can do everything really well, and Makwanami Akani brings it absolutely every time. He's tenacious. He's wild with his attacks. He's a strong, heavy wrestler. It's going to be an absolutely epic fight.
Nick, as well as a step up in weight, it's going to be interesting to see how Jack responds, obviously, to the first professional defeat.
Yeah, exactly, because it puts doubts in your mind. Of course it does. And that's why he wanted to jump back in straight away. He wants to rectify that L on his record. I think Makwan's a perfect opponent. Very grapple-heavy, as we see there. Most of his win submissions. Big win last year over Mike Grundy. So he'll fancy it. He loves the O2. He loves being the upsetter. But as Big Tom says, Jack Shore is a very, very special fighter.
On the division though, 145 pounds. from a British point of view, there's a lot of guys there that we could be matching up in the not-too-distant future. Don't forget, Lerone Murphy was supposed to be fighting with Daniel Wood tonight, so there's a lot of talent from these shores on 145 pounds.
As you say, you think of those two guys, of course, you think of Jack in the featherweight division. They're all desperate to be ranked, desperate to climb those charts, but just shows the strength of UK MMA right across the board. We've got ranked fighters pretty much in every single weight division right now, and that's reflecting on why we're selling out 22,000 arenas twice a year.
Right. That's to come. That's your feature prelim. Right now, though, it is all about Braveheart. He's going to be getting stuck into this big time. Chris Duncan and Omar Morales about to make their ring walks. Enjoy it.
All right, so here's Omar Morales at 37 years of age, making his 7th UFC appearance. And certainly most of our viewers know about the displacement crisis in Venezuela, largest in the world. He left there with his family, with his brother, essentially, in 2015, left the family behind. 3-3 in the UFC, forced to pull out of a fight in January. Daniel accepted this fight tonight against Chris Duncan on about 5 weeks' notice.
Yeah, on about 5 weeks' notice, but back up at a weight class that's more suited for him, right? For a while, he tried to go down to 145, and nobody quite understood how he made the weight. But it was just another instance of one of those guys thinks the smaller I get, the better I'm going to do. But back at 155, he has skill. He has ability. He's got good striking. He's very, very powerful. He fights with a really high pace, high activity, very durable, likes to throw a lot of kicks and power in every single kick. This guy has a lot of opportunities to be good. And since going back up, he showed signs in his first fight back at 155. But we want to see the guy that fought Gabriel Benitez, the guy that fought Dong Young Ma. If he can do that, he can fight these guys coming off the Contender Series as he did.
Yeah, that's right. On the Contender looks very promising. You know, got a stoppage in the second round. And he's got a great record, 11-3. Of course, in the UFC, you find the best in the world. He's a lifelong martial artist. Started karate with his father when he was a very young child. Switched to kickboxing, and that is how he likes to fight. Great kicks, great all-round skills as well.
Well, they call Scotland's Chris Duncan the problem because of his skills, and also, he said, because he had a hard time getting people to accept fights for a while. The UFC debut has arrived for this talented 29-year-old Michael. 10 weeks at American Top Team, and sort of opened his eyes in terms of some of the things he was overdoing in training in the past.
Yeah, that's right. Listen, you want it so badly, you push yourself to the absolute limit, but sometimes less is more. Now, look, listen, this guy has got off to a tremendous start. Exposed on the Contender. You said drop the jaw of Dana White. He probably broke the jaw of Charlie Campbell. Now, listen, let's remember, in that fight, it wasn't going his way. He was eating a series of really hard, devastating uppercuts, and then, boom! One shot sat him down. It was a thunderous right hand. And even though it was great and it was exciting, he wasn't happy with that. He said, that's not the way I want to fight. I don't want to eat a lot of damage and then get a knockout. I want to be a technician. That is why he went out to America. Very, very proud to represent Scotland. You hear the music here. You saw the face paint yesterday. And he wants an event in Scotland. Sees himself as a future star.
All right, you are looking live in the inspection zone at Scotland's Chris Duncan. DC, he wrote to himself in 2018, I want to get to the UFC, and that dream materializes here tonight in London, no less.
Yeah, he's here now. But he's here, and because he's here, he feels like he can put his full skill set on display. He said the Contender Series, why? That is where he got his opportunity. It does make you want to fight a certain way. You got to be excited to get that contract. He didn't get it the first time he was on there. He said, but now, the onus is on winning fights. So you will see his full ability in the octagon tonight. And if he's better than he was last time, it's going to be very, very fun because Omar Morales will give him that type of fight.
Yeah, Omar Morales, excellent kickboxer. Chris Duncan, well-rounded skills, but gets the job done with the hands. And as we said on the Contender, the power that we saw, that right hand that he landed, it was nuclear. And if he lands one of those tonight, this roof is going to come off.
All right, with that backdrop, let us get you the tail of the tape for the lightweights. Chris Duncan will be 30 years of age on May 10th. Omar Morales is 37. Morales 1 inch in height. He will have a reach advantage of 1.5 inches. All right, now for the particulars, back inside of Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a striker holding a professional record, 11 wins, 3 losses. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 156 pounds. Fighting out of Miami, Florida, USA, by way of Caracas, Venezuela, Omar Venezuelan fighter Morales! And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 9 wins, 1 loss. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 156 pounds. Fighting out of Tully, Scotland, Chris the Plumhog Duncan! And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Lucas Wasaki.
Tonight's Cinecam looks are brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. That Cinecam made me think Chris Duncan was Grant Dawson for a split second. Grant Dawson actually one of his teammates now at American Top Team. This fight clock is brought to you by Modelo. Duncan in blue. Omar Morales is in black.
Morales has really good kicks. Very powerful. Look for him to start blasting kicks.
Venezuela's Veronica Hardy got a win earlier tonight. Morales trying to make it 2 for 2 for a country that could use an uplift.
Yeah, absolutely. I went to Venezuela as I think I was like 21 years old right after college. I went there to wrestle in the Pan Am Games. And it was a beautiful country, man, but it really has had some bad luck recently.
More than 5 million Venezuelans have fled since 2014.
So to have someone like Omar Morales so proudly represent that country, it's a bright spot for the Venezuelans.
Duncan's doing the right thing here. Closing the distance, backing up Morales.
Well, when you got power like Duncan has, you want to get close to guys. And right now you can see him almost loading up that right hand.
Toyo Tires, the official tire of UFC. Morales formerly with Kill Cliff FC, now at KO Zone and Goat Shed Miami.
Oh, I mean, Morales is checking these kicks.
Yeah, he is. He's targeting, though, Duncan, the calf, multiple occasions, but every time Morales has checked them.
And Duncan's kicking hard. You cannot kick into that shin that many times. When you start hearing those checks where it sounds like something's hitting the baseball bat, it always scares me.
Ooh, that's nice balance, though, by Duncan. Hits the canvas, but spins back up quickly.
Morales seems pretty locked in right now.
Took the words out of my mouth, champ.
Yeah, he's on the hunt now.
Duncan twice competed on Dana White's Contender Series, season 5 and 6. Went 1-0 between those 2 appearances. Duncan hinted that we might see his wrestling and his grappling tonight. Says people haven't seen what he can do there.
Yeah, well, certainly training with the American Top Team, you're going to get all different kinds of looks. Feeling himself now, though, just landed a massive right hand. But yeah, you want to mix it up. You want to keep them guessing. You want to put a kickboxer on his backside. And he just talked about the wealth of talent that he was training with out there.
When you have a right hand like Duncan, though, you can see why Morales has to be very careful. Because if you're watching Morales right now, John, he doesn't look the same, right? He's much more measured in his approach, but you can't take the risk with Duncan because he possesses that right hand.
All right, this coach's cam brought to you by Proper Number 12 Irish Whiskey. We check in on the corner of Chris Duncan, Adam Stevenson.
Get in the range with the hands first. Chris, next time we get him there, we go with a double. 2 minutes, Chris. Finish the win. Nice. Finish with a strong takedown. Stop thinking about level changing.
Here to Duncan corner yelling for level changes. Finished the round with a takedown. And he listens, but Morales just picked up on that easy.
Perfect defense. Got the underhook, shrugged him off.
Hands between his arms and your legs.
And nicely done. I mean, I don't need to tell you, DC, but the sprawl should be the last line of defense.
Yeah, head hands, man. Head and hands are first. Head and hands.
Duncan trying to create an angle, connected there.
Yeah, closes the distance. Yeah. He's made it obvious, though, to a certain degree, that he's looking to land that dynamite right hand. So therefore, he set his stall out a little bit. It's nice to mix it up, throw some more kicks, a higher output in general, mix in a few takedowns. That will make Morales forget about his big, dangerous weapon.
And there's some reddening on the outside of that leg.
Huge combination from Morales. Great uppercut, then a right hook.
Both fighters have realized success with those leg kicks in round one.
Nice entry there, gets him deep. Hasn't got the hands joined though. Not going to finish it. Nicely defended by Morales. Big elbow.
Oh, crushing elbow on the clinch late in the round for Duncan. Round two coming up.
¿Cómo te sientes?
How do you feel?
Bien.
Good.
Toma agüita.
I need
Vamos
some
a hacer
water.
un trabajo.
You're doing a great job.
Ganamos ese primer round, ¿ok?
I think we won this first round.
Ganamos ese primer round, pero tenemos que meter más presión con el jab, ¿ok?
We need more pressure. We need to apply more pressure. Don't let him establish a rhythm.
Entra y salgo ese jab.
In and out movement, in and out movement.
Lánzale la pata, que te la está regalando.
As soon as you see an opportunity, throw your kick harder.
Get our left hand. Get our left hand into the body. Right hand to the top again.
Going crazy, mate.
Fellas, man.
We don't want to move here for nothing. All right?
Every Tuesday, catch me and Super Bowl champion Ryan Clark chopping it up about the sport that we love so much on DC and RC. Watch us on YouTube, ESPN Plus, and now on ESPN2 at midnight Eastern.
Big DC.
They keep handing me the card, man. I can do this thing off the top of my head.
You can do that standing on your head.
Duncan changes levels. Morales trying to defend with that Kimura offering.
Nicely done. Also nicely done by Morales. Pounced up, bounced up like a cat.
This was the approach that a lot of people were expecting we'd see from Duncan.
Yeah, he's been out there, I was saying before, American top team. He was there for 3 months, training with Grant Dawson, Thiago Moises, got lots of rounds in with Jorge Masvidal. You know, it's training with the best people in the world and learning little things and just sometimes proving to yourself that you belong. Because when you train with these guys that you see on TV, that you look up to, that are inspiration to you,
right,
and then you do rounds and you're like, hold on a minute, I can compete, I survived, or maybe I even won that round. It really confirms the belief in yourself, you know, and helps with your performances, of course.
Mike Brown not in the corner of Chris Duncan tonight, but he said Brown continued to impart upon Duncan when to scale back. No more gym wars, and Duncan really took that advice to heart.
Yeah, so many young... Oh, go on, DC.
Sorry, well, look at him. He's securing takedowns. He saw how close that first round was. I would give it to Morales. So he figured, let's change it up a little bit, gets a takedown, has got some control. These are things that we didn't see in Duncan.
Oh, hits the switch.
That's crazy because switches don't generally work in MMA.
Well, he did that.
Great job by Morales, really exploding into that switch.
Under 3 minutes here to go in round 2. Morales loads up. Left hand got home.
I tell you, Morales is fast. When he lets those hands go,
he's good, man.
Yeah, he's lightning.
But I would like to see Morales get back to that outside low kick. He landed a few early. Got some red on the outside leg of Duncan. Duncan does not check kicks as well as Morales does. Morales does not give you free kicks to the legs. Duncan doesn't pick him up as easily.
3 kickboxing titles in Venezuela for Omar Morales. He turned pro in that discipline when he was 18.
That was a better
big
kick.
Low kick there, yeah.
There, and then he checks that one. Oh!
Morales showboating a little bit after landing that right hand. Duncan returns with a low leg kick.
Yeah, and again, he checks it.
Yeah, and he big that, right?
A big smile. He's like, come on, bro.
How many times are you going to kick my shins? But Duncan, see that? Duncan doesn't check him as much. If I'm Morales, I'm standing on that outside low kick. Duncan needs to press him a little bit. Get him back to the octagon side. There it is. Press him. There it is. Smart. Very smart by Duncan. Showing off all the skills like he told us he would.
But he's got to make it work, and he's got to complete this takedown.
Here you got to go to a single leg.
He's trying desperately to get his hands together. If you join the hands, you can complete the takedown. You can still complete it without doing that, but that's the easiest way.
Mike, it's over there, right? If a guy understands takedown defense, once you don't get the hands locked initially, you got to go to the single.
Got to go to the single leg.
Move him around and get back to the double leg.
Because what you do is, you separate your legs, you widen your base, so therefore
there
it's
harder
single to join your hands together because they're further apart, which actually sets up the single leg because you're off balance essentially.
Yep. Man, you know how to wrestle, Mike.
I'm not telling you, DC. You know everything about wrestling. I've never seen a man, we were talking about this before, obsessed with wrestling so much. You watch it all the time.
I was watching the NCAA wrestling tournament every chance I get.
I know.
Fight will start in a few hours. You guys should tune in after the fights. The fights get over. We start at 9, end at like 11, and the finals start right after.
So you'll be watching?
I'm absolutely not going to be.
You're not going to come and join me for a pint of lager?
That's just a suicide mission.
I'm offended.
All right, under 30 seconds here to go round 2. Duncan back to work to the body.
It's a better round for Duncan.
Yeah, it is.
I'm so sorry, John.
Duncan 1 for 7 on the takedown attempts thus far.
What I do love, John, though, is whenever I cut you off, we're saying the same exact thing. Like-minded.
Same page. All right, competitive fight through 2. Third and final coming up.
Every time you get in there, it's moving.
Yeah, take this.
Aye. Yeah. Mate, right hand double, it's working every time. We're getting on this single now. Rip it high. You see what happened when you done it the first time? Hips in, switch to the ankle, rip it high. Yeah. Everything's working fine. Set it up. Every time.
Level change through that right hand, and then next time level change and shoot off the right hand.
Mate, listen, we need this round. 100% we need this round.
Okay.
1-1 getting out here, we need this round.
No, no hay nada. No hay nada, no hay nada.
Está bien. Está bien.
You feel good?
Eso.
Yeah, you're very close.
No le gusta cuando lo toca. Síguelo tocándolo
He
con el
doesn't
jab,
like to get hit. He doesn't like to get hit. You've got to pressure a little more.
Síguelo tocando con el jab, que no le gusta. Dale, síguelo tocando con el jab, que no le gusta. Baja.
Keep touching him, keep touching, kicking and punching him. He doesn't like it.
The UFC 286 prelims are presented by Modelo.
Ready. Fight.
On paper, at least on the betting front, this was the closest of the 15 fights tonight.
Well, it is a close fight. Both men having success. I would say both men need to up the tempo a little bit.
To separate themselves, right? Because at the end of the fight, it's going to be super close rounds, and then somebody's going to be mad.
Good left-hand connection there by Duncan.
To your right, back him up. Move to your right, back him. Back him up. Keep back him up. Keep back him up.
Yeah, so both men are throwing quite a bit, but nothing is really finding the mark. Nothing's landing with significance. doing much damage. Nice little jab by Morales there. Oh, there it is. And you see the
redness, yep.
I was just going to say the redness, DC, you're right, and that took him clean off the feet. Here he is again in the same position, trying to pick the ankle. Now we switch to the single leg, needs to pull that out, run the pipe. He's using the shin as a defensive shield. Steps over that one, needs to rush forward, turn it into a double leg. Yeah, there it is, treetops in, puts him down, but Morales tries to bounce up.
Oh, nice job by Morales. Morales did a great job of going half guard one way, turn back to the single on the opposite side. I think this is a mistake. I think he needs to get up to his feet and put two hands to the lock. Yeah. Going back to his knee to avoid the knee really isn't that smart because it's giving him control time. You get to your feet, and you hope that he tries to knee you from this position because then you attack the lock and you free yourself.
If I'm Duncan, I'm kneeing that thigh. Well, not now. When he was down a second ago, nice.
And this happened because he went back to the mat. Morales should have been on his feet. Good job by Duncan recognizing that that leg is beat up, man. Those outside leg kicks have damaged him. He needs this fight on the ground.
Duncan has been the busier, more pressuring fighter in terms of output on the feet. And he has been a more than willing grappler as well, 2 for 9 on his takedown attempts thus far. Coming up on the midpoint of this third and final round, and if you're Omar Morales, you got to go.
Yeah, if you're Chris Duncan, what he should be doing now, because he's not getting the hooks in, there it is. Knee, the thigh, and the butt. It's right there, and they actually really, really hurt. Doesn't look sexy.
Hey, there you go, Mike.
But they hurt.
Work. Look, you go. That fool's goal. They call that fool's goal. You get it one time, you're like, it's going to work again. Yeah. That ain't working again. You get those switches one time, man, because Duncan is doing the right thing. All you got to do is it gets you in the worst position.
And you know, listen, right now, for Duncan, probably not the exciting debut he wanted to make. But what he's doing is trying to ensure the victory. And above everything else, that's all that matters. Victory. Yes, you want it to be exciting, explosive, a knockout, a submission, whatever. But you take a win by any means necessary. And if it's so evenly contested that this is what you've got to do.
Look at Morales, though. Like, I get it.
Yeah, I do.
But, dude, you don't get help. You don't get help. It's on you to get up. Great job by Duncan. I like that. He's getting the pressure forward, keeping all of his weight on his hands.
I mean, it's not the best thing to watch, let's be honest.
No, but he's getting the victory, right?
But as I said, he's getting the victory. And if this gets him that round and it steals the victory, then he did what was necessary. For Morales right now, he needs to break that grip. He needs to get that right arm, get an underhook. He's got to separate the grip, get back to your feet, insert yourself back into the fight.
He's just back to the leg again.
Defending the takedown, defending being put flat on your back is not enough.
Well, and I like the way Lucas Bosaki, the referee, has handled it, right? Duncan staying busy, continuing to transition. The ref not going to bail you out.
I mean, you're right, John, but it has been quite a significant time.
Morales works his way back to the feet.
There he goes. Now he's up. But he needs to do that earlier. Now he's got to empty the gas tank. And he is.
20 seconds. Oh, that's a beautiful uppercut.
Morales is going for it.
Yeah, fighting as if he needs a finish. Final seconds. Shot from Duncan.
Duncan gets another takedown. That shows development of an MMA game. I don't hate it.
And a nice capstone to what will, in all likelihood, be a debut win for Chris Duncan. Scorecards on the other side. Get ready for every fight night and pay-per-view by watching Best Bets with Brett Okamoto and Ian Parker. If you're looking for big underdogs who could cash or some fun parlays, the fellas have you covered with their best plays across the entire card. Catch it on YouTube every week. All right, now it is time for the official decision brought to you by New Amsterdam Vodka. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. Paul Sutherland scores the contest, 30-27, Morales. Vito Paolillo scores it, 29-28, Duncan. And Ben Cartledge scores the contest, 29-28, for the winner by split decision, Chris the Problem Duncan.
All right, Chris Duncan, your winner by split decision. One of those judges scored that third and final round for Omar Morales.
How? I mean, all the rounds. He scored them all. I don't understand how you scored that third round. That was about as clear a round that they had the whole fight.
Texas gone mad. It's Benzema! Of course he scores! Unbelievable!
Come get it. Come get it, come get it, come get it.
Things are getting serious.
Come get it. Go get it, go get it, go get it.
Bring it up.
Come get it, come get it, come get it.
You won't want to miss this. Let's go.
Come get it.
What are we waiting for?
We're ready.
Are you? We play.
We play on BT Sport.
Right, really big show tonight, guys. Ree, Coley, you okay? Macca? Owen Hargreaves?
Why don't I have a nickname? They've all got cool nicknames.
What kind of thing are you looking for?
Greavesy?
There's only one Greavesy, mate.
Hargreavesy.
Hargreavesy? That's not it.
Oh? Michael Owen's Mo? I could be O.
Texas gone mad. It's Benzema! Of course he scores! Unbelievable!
Come get it. Come get it, come get it, come get it.
Things are getting serious.
Come get it. Go get it, go get it, go get it.
Bring it up.
Come get it, come get it, come get it.
You won't want to miss this. Let's go.
Come get it.
What are we waiting for?
We're ready.
Are you? We play.
We play on BT Sport.
Right, really big show tonight, guys. Ree, Coley, you okay? Macca?
We're at the O2 Arena in London for UFC 286. Lots to talk about already. We'll get stuck into that on our post-fight show, coming to you in the conclusion of tonight's main event between Leon Edwards and Kamaru Usman. The music is sounding around the arena because the ring walks are well and truly underway for our featured prelim fight. Makwanami Akani, as you can see there, is taking on Jack Shaw. Let's get down cage side to our commentary team.
sensational performances here in the O2 and all around the world. But as you said, John, when you're fighting for a family, when you've got a child and you really want to achieve your hopes and dreams and really secure that financial freedom through your fighting career, that will motivate you to do all the right things in training camp.
Representing Abertillery, Wales, and training under his dad, Richard Shore. Here is Jack Shore for his 7th UFC appearance, the former Cage Warriors bantamweight champion. Michael, he had visions of retiring undefeated like Joe Calzaghe. That is not going to happen after he ran into Ricky Simon last July, but he said in some part that impacted his style, and it's somewhat liberating for Jack Shore as he moves up to featherweight tonight.
Yeah, he said he feels like he's got a monkey off his back losing the undefeated record. He said he suffered heartbreak because of it, of course, but life goes on, and I know what he means, because you got to think, at some point I'm going to lose, so you have the anxiety, the mental anguish. Is this going to be the one where I make a mistake? Now, regardless, he lost. He got caught by Ricky Simon in an arm triangle, but he did recognise that perhaps he was killing himself in the weight cut, which is why he's bumped up 10 pounds to featherweight now. Walking in, the weight cut was a breeze, although there was one. Said he feels the best athletic version of himself yet, and is excited to go up against Makwan Amirkhani.
All right, back live in London. Tonight's Fighting Spirit stats are sponsored by Cerveza Modelo. Jack Shore, the former Cage Warriors bantamweight champion, began his MMA career 7-0 as a featherweight, then moved down 10 pounds. Tonight he makes his UFC featherweight debut. Last 3 weight cuts were just brutal. And at 16-1, he arrived in this division to face that man, Robin's dad, Mr. Finland, Makwan Amirkhani, his pride and joy, his 5-month-old son. And Amirkhani has talked about some of the Finnish talent up and coming. He says, I want to run this country. I'm Mr. Finland. And he said, don't be surprised, given my confidence, if I get back to my patented first-round finishing ways here tonight against the credentialed Jack Shore. All right, this tail of the tape is brought to you by Toyo Tires, the official tire of UFC. Jack Shore, a 5-1 favorite to the surprise of some. He's 28, Makwan Amirkhani 34. Amirkhani 2 inches taller. He will have a 1-inch reach advantage over the divisional newcomer, Jack Shore. All right, now for the intros, here's Bruce.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC featherweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 17 wins, 8 losses. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 146 pounds. Fighting out of Turku, Finland, by way of Kurdistan, Makwan, Mr. Finland, Amirkhani! And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 16 wins, 1 loss. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 146 pounds. Fighting out of Abertillery, Wales, Jack Shore! And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Rich Mitchell.
Too bad the nickname No Nonsense is already taken, because Rich Mitchell not putting up with a whole lot tonight. Red De La Cruz with us here in London, England. Jack Shore and Makwan Amirkhani.
Ready. Let's go.
All right, this fight clock is brought to you by Toyo Tires, the official tire of UFC. Amirkhani out of the southpaw stance in white. Jack Shore is in green.
I'm always interested to see what a guy looks like when he goes up in weight class, right? Jack Shore still looks very similar, just a little heavier, but he looks pretty similar to the way he looked at 135. As you said, Johnny said, those weight cuts were killing him. And when you run into a Ricky Simon that pushes an incredibly high pace, you will get buzzed through if those weight cuts are too hard.
Yeah, absolutely, especially when you fight with the style of a Jack Shore. Utilizes a lot of wrestling. That's one of the hardest part of mixed martial arts, and when you're killing yourself with the weight cuts, yeah, it's going to have an impact. Now, I always refer to Jack Shore as the Welsh GSP, you know, because of the wrestling, the way he mixes things up, and just generally the well-rounded mixed martial arts skills that he possesses. So it's going to be interesting because Makwan, as we know, a credited wrestler himself, and not an easy man to take down.
800 wrestling matches in Greco and freestyle for the former Finnish champ Makwan Amirkhani.
Amirkhani just did a really good job of changing that position. Lifted that underhook, turned Shore off the side of the octagon, and now he's in control. He's trying to thread that right leg around. But Shore's doing a good job of just blocking, not allowing him, using the fence to really close that gap so he can't hook that leg.
Yeah, this is an interesting battle now as well, because this sends a message to both men. You know, like for Amirkhani, if you can't take him down, he'll be like, oh, okay, all right, maybe I'm not going to be as confident with the grappling. For Jack Shore, tells him that he made the right move coming up to 145. But it's close. One little misstep here. Either man could hit the canvas, but gets double underhooks. That's big for Jack. Turn the tables now. Now it's Makwan defending double underhooks. Lets it go. And that's off on the way, right? Two guys that like to wrestle, ends up on the feet.
Both guys appeared to land in that exchange.
Oh, nice jab. Damn. That was slick.
And the return. Some nice jabs from both men.
Oh, nice level change by Amirkhani.
That was nice. And it was clean. And it's in the center of the octagon.
No resistance. That's what you want. You don't want to have to work too hard to get that takedown. Hit him at the hips. Able to secure the finish. Now he's got top control. Full half guard.
Jack Shore's got some good skills off his back, though. Regardless, you don't want to be there. However, did a good job regarding. That's the first step of defense. When you're taken down, you're inside control, okay? You get your guard, now you've got options. Now you can attack from your back, you can look for submissions, you can kick on the hips, you can shrimp, you can try and wall walk, hit a sweep, submit, or stand up. Omoplata, almost. Makwan wise to it.
That was beautiful. Amirkhani just switched sides and took the half guard on the opposite side. Just following the flow, not fighting the action too much. That's how you get stuck in submissions. Those guys start throwing up those subs, just flow with them. Beat them to the next position.
Jack Shore, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, first dan black belt, traditional Jiu-Jitsu as well.
Let's stay busy if you want to keep your position here.
Referee calling for some more action here. 1 minute to go in the round.
Some nice guard pass attempts there from Makwan. But Jack Shore very impressively retains guard. Potential triangle if he can get the left leg free. Makwan's very much aware of that, though. I mean, it's been a good round for Amirkhani.
Yep.
Since the takedown, he's been in control. Jack Shore defending very well. Defending very, very well. But you don't win fights by defending.
20 combined submission wins coming in for these two athletes. But one takedown, essentially all Amirkhani needed to distance himself from the divisional newcomer Jack Shore in round one. More than 2 minutes of ground control time for Makwan Amirkhani. We'll see how Shore adjusts in round two.
Right, sit down, round down. Pop my toes out, have a take down. All right, rest. Quick drink. Right, listen to me now. Have a drink. Get your lungs in. Let's get the heart rate. We have just drilled a head kick for the last 6 weeks, and you've not thrown one. Think that, Jack. He's open for it, Jack. His head is here. Let's be a bit more aggressive. You've given a sloppy takedown there, right? And being honest with you, you're a round down. We got to work. We need this next round. Think that jab. He's panting on the feet. You've given a sloppy takedown. Nice left jab. Let's hit that head kick off the off. Jab.
You know, he's tired. He's tired, right? You took a deep breath in here now. Don't be so defensive now. Be a bit more offensive. Let's work. Let's work it.
Sprawl everything out, right?
See you working.
Another high-level bantamweight tilt set to headline UFC Fight Night next Saturday with a San Antonio, Texas backdrop. Bonafide finishers Corey Sandhagen and Marlon Chito Vera set to engage in this pivotal main event. Entire event live on ESPN. Main card at 7 p.m. Eastern next Saturday night. DC, how about Richard Shore giving it to his son Jack after round 1?
Yep, and his son goes out there and does exactly what he told him. So he's been training head kick for months. He didn't throw one of them yet.
Don't grab that glove, Mac.
He gets one right away.
Oh. Looked like something bothered Amirkhani there. Listen, the reality is, Makwan hit a great takedown.
Yeah.
And he had solid downward pressure. Shore did a great job defending. Amirkhani did a great job of applying the pressure and countering the guard. The guard regained, tried to pass guard. It was just one of those fights, one of those rounds. But now they're back on the feet.
Well, it's when you don't have much to judge, right? You judge the takedown. You judge the control.
Yeah. Oh, nice. But Jack is fighting with a sense of urgency.
Yeah, he is.
The direct quote from Richard Shore after round 1, we've drilled a head kick for 6 weeks, you haven't thrown one.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes you need reminding of that, and then sometimes the reason you don't throw it in there is because you're tentative, because you don't think the timing's right. You think if I throw the head kick, he's going to shoot a double leg or whatever. There's all kinds of thoughts going through your mind at 1,000,000 miles an hour that make you doubt yourself as to why you shouldn't throw it or do a certain thing or go for the takedown. But that one connected.
He was about to try to shoot. Amirkhani looks to be getting tired.
Yep.
He looks to be getting tired.
Well, that shin on chin will definitely help the tightness.
Yeah, that takedown, Amirkhani's wobbling.
That takedown, John, in control, took a lot out of Amirkhani. If I'm Jack Shore, I'm defending every takedown and still putting him back on his feet. Because this allows him to rest. Good job for Shore. Oh, he got the knee on that kick.
Yeah. As you say, Amirkhani does look to be slowing. The shots are a little more labored. And Jack now, he throws it again. And it's a nice kick as well.
Oh. Shore starting to open up.
His dad was right.
Yep. Good land with the right hand by Amirkhani.
Even the speed that Amirkhani's throwing his strikes at is so much slower than it was in round 1. He was landing that beautiful jab before. Now he slowed down a lot.
Yeah, and he's hurting him with every shot. I mean, that jab stung him. He's finding the mark. He's growing in confidence, putting together nice combinations. And Amirkhani's telegraphing those takedowns.
Oh, massive right from Shore. Really starting to pour it on now.
And let's remember, Jack Shore moved up to 145, didn't have the hard weight cut, isn't slowing, isn't getting tired. In fact, he's growing in speed and out as the fight's progressing.
Jack Shore is tremendous on his feet.
Well, that's a nice job, and that's nicely defended.
Every time you defend one, though, it's a massive victory for Shore. Because when you fail takedowns, it exhausts you.
If I'm Jack, I'm going to back up.
Yeah, let him up.
He was having a lot of success on the feet. And you never know. You're playing the game of a grappler now. I mean, look at that, 20-4 on the feet so far for Jack Shore.
Fighting on instinct, perhaps, and able to get his first takedown of the fight.
Hey, listen, you end up in a clinch scenario, you think, okay, I'm going to maximize on this, I'll take you down. And Jack has tremendous skills down there. That guard pass was absolute textbook.
He can mount him.
Beautiful stuff. There's the mount. And he's got a minute. We could see a finish here. Amirkhani seems to be fading, not only in stamina, in confidence, and body language.
Arm triangle. Yeah.
Look at that to the side. Yeah, he went back on, nicely read. He kind of lost the grip a little bit, felt it, went back to mount. Macron's got to get on his side, push on the knees with his elbows, try and regard. But this, he's under the neck. Here we go. It's a matter of time.
Yeah, it's over.
It's merely seconds. Amirkhani's trying to...
Jack Shore, welcome to the featherweight division. So somewhat of a pedestrian start for Jack Shore, but a dominant performance thereafter. Jack Shore, your winner by submission tonight.
Yeah, listen, caught with the takedown in round 1. Defended very well. Defended all the attacks. Didn't take much damage. But in round 2, just like the old man said, come on, let's throw those head kicks, son. That's exactly what he did. Shortly after that, slips a shot, gets the body lock, drives the man down, passes guard, takes mount, and then takes home the win with the rear naked choke. And as we said, it was only a matter of time. Got firmly under the chin. He's got a hell of a squeeze. And Amir Khani here, as I said, it's only a matter of time. Doesn't matter how tough you are. You either tap or nap. And in this situation, Amir Khani forced to tap out. And he's absolutely devastated over there. But Jack Shore, welcome to the featherweight division.
And once it's official, it'll be the 8th rear naked choke for Jack Shore. We are back in 30 seconds after this from DraftKings Sportsbook.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Rich Mitchell's called a stop to this contest at 4 minutes, 27 seconds of the second round. Declaring the winner by submission due to a rear naked choke, Jack Shore!
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with Jack Shore. Jack, you're up at 145 now. How good did it feel to not kill yourself to make the weight, but also have the energy to pick up the pace in round 2 and get a victory like that?
It was everything I thought to be done. That was the exact reason why I moved up. You know, I wanted to have that gas tank to push on in the second and third round, and you know, it paid off.
Could you feel Amir slowing down in the second round? Your father was very adamant about throwing head kicks before the second round. You did that. Did you feel him starting to slow down?
Hey, let me tell you something about my dad. November 2022, diagnosed with cancer. Finished his chemo treatment 2 weeks ago. You're here to corner me today.
You were able to score a lot of success on the feet. Let's take a look at some of your work here. You still took him to the ground and ultimately got the submission. Did you ever think about maybe letting him back up? As I know you're starting to be very emotional. You just said something that means a lot to you, but look at that performance there.
To be honest, I felt like I was a better wrestler. He hit me with that shoot in the first round. I felt 2 of my toes bend the other way. So I gave up on that round a bit. But I knew as soon as I got him tired, I'd be able to take him down. And I know my jiu-jitsu is as good as anyone in the division. So the minute I got that top position, I know that's why I'm at home and that's why I can really do damage. And that's why I wanted to keep it there.
That was a fantastic performance. Congratulations on the victory, and congratulations to your father. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Jack Shore.
Good luck anybody beating that post-fight speech. Brilliant from Jack Shore on the microphone, but even better in the octagon as well, getting the finish over Makwan Amir Khani in the second round. Took his time, Tom. He worried us for a little bit in that first 5 minutes, didn't he?
Definitely. He started off a little bit slow, a little bit uncharacteristic of Jack Shore. Maybe it was moving up at the weight or something, but in that second round, the adjustment that he made on his dad's command in the corner, throwing the head kicks, it really opened up the fight for him. And spectacular performance from Jack Shore.
Listen, we know how good Rich is in the corner. He's always brilliant, but he was even more brilliant tonight. He spotted that his lad maybe he was just taking his time going up in weight, wanting to last the full 15 minutes with Makwan Amir Khani. He took the instruction, he came out for the second, up the pace, got the job done, great finish, and welcome to 145.
Exactly, and what we needed from Jack Shore tonight was a statement to remind the world who you are. You're Jack Shore, you're Wales's first UFC champion. Go out there and prove it. And tonight he made a statement against Makwan Amir Khani. That guy does not get submitted. In fact, he's only been submitted once in his career. It was 12 years ago. That's a statement in the featherweight division. Everyone knows how good Makwan is on the ground. For Jack Shore to do that tonight, wow, let's go featherweights.
Tom, you're a jiu-jitsu whiz. Talk us through the intricacies of what he was doing there.
Well, you know, he had the top position for a bit. He was in the mount, he was throwing some strikes, and Makwan basically just gave up his back, and you know Jack Shaw's a master when he gets the back. As soon as he got his hand under the neck, controlled his hips properly with the hooks, stayed on his back like a little backpack on him. Next minute the choke's in, absolutely no defence for that.
The beautiful thing about Jack Shaw though is that he blends the disciplines together.
Yeah.
Even on the feet at times there in the second round, he looked absolutely bob on.
On that second round, honestly, shout out to his boxing coach Gary Lockett, a good mate of mine. He'll be back in Wales delighted because that's the best boxing I've ever seen from Jack Shaw.
Brilliant stuff from him, great victory. Welcome to the featherweight division, Jack Shaw. You're looking good at 145. Right, that's your prelims done and dusted. But you want to know about this now, don't you? Because from 9 o'clock, which is moments away, we are heading into the main card here at UFC 286. Marvin Vettori versus Roman Dolidze will get us going in the middleweight division. That is set for an absolute banger. Big ramifications in that flyweight bout there between Jennifer Maia, who's been there, done it and got the t-shirt, taking on the young gun of the division, Casey O'Neill. In the welterweights, it's Gunnar Nelson on familiar soil, taking on last-minute replacement Brian Barberena. And then, as advertised, woo! Salivate, lightweights on deck, Justin Gaethje versus Rafael Fiziev. It will be brilliant, as will that main event. For the third time, Leon Edwards and Kamaru Usman go together against each other, this time though for, of course, the welterweight crown. And Leon Edwards this time getting the opportunity to defend that crown. We're moments away, obviously, from this main card. We're excited about it, but loads of people obviously incredibly excited about that main event. Very pro-Leon crowd. They're expecting something special. It's not going to be as easy as some of these fans are already alluding to us when we're on the concourse and have a chat with us. They're talking about headshots, they're talking about finishes and all this type of stuff. Usman's been there, done that, got the t-shirt. He'll be wary of what is coming back the other way from Edwards.
Well, of course, we've seen the headshot. You know, it's gone all around the world, it's gone viral. Especially the corner work's gone viral, even more so with Leon Edwards' corner. But we know that Kamaru Usman is a stylistically bad matchup for Leon Edwards. You know, he puts the pressure on him, he puts him on the back foot, he makes it ugly, he throws the punches up top and he keeps him guessing. But Leon Edwards, as we know, now has the power to stop Kamaru Usman, and that's always going to be in the back of his mind in this fight this evening.
Keys to victory are very, very simple, I think, for both men, aren't they, Nick? When you're looking at Kamaru, it's about being a concrete blanket for as long as he possibly can.
It is, yeah, absolutely. But as you can see there, and it's just his highlight package as well, he does throw a massive overhand right. It's quite rudimentary, but there's a lot of power in there as well. And Leon's just got to be a little bit wary early on. He doesn't get carried away in the moment. He doesn't start, you know, wanting to relive that head kick from the very first bell. He's got to be patient. He's got to take his time. It's his time now. I feel like his reign has begun. But until you actually defend the belt, are you truly a champion? The pressure's on him tonight.
Let's have a quick look back at Salt Lake City, because that's the reason why we're here. Of course, a lot of people going into that fight thought that Kamaru Usman would be retaining his belt and creating brand spanking new records here in the welterweight division. But this first round, Tom, took a few people by surprise. The grappling exchanges, Leon definitely took that. But then, of course, 2, 3 and 4 were all Kamaru, and this was basically rinse and repeat what we're seeing right now.
I mean, yeah, definitely, and what Leon said, his story was that the altitude affected him, and with the performance he gave, that seemed to add up. You know, the first round he looked fantastic. He took control on the top. He might have even took Kamaru Usman by surprise a little bit, you know. He got the back control, he nearly choked him, he dominated all of that first round, and then obviously came back with the head kick. So we know he can go through adversity. He was losing, but his spirit wasn't broken in that fight. So very excited to see the mentality of both guys coming into the fight this evening.
And he also takes away from the fight the last significant moment. His tail will be up. You made a great point a moment ago, Nick. It's about controlling those emotions, because the last exchange between these two guys was that headshot.
Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, Leon's aware of that now. He's been manifesting this moment his entire life. It's all good and well going to America winning the belt, but bringing it home and defending it in front of your own fans in a sold-out arena like this is what fighters dream about when they're little kids. This is his moment, so I've got no doubt he'll be in control of his emotions. He just needs to feel his way into the fight. Don't get too excited. Don't get frustrated if Kamaru takes him down. He's got 25 minutes and he knows one shot, game over.
What's going through these boys' minds now ahead of this main event?
Well, these guys are both veterans, so these guys are used to this feeling. Do you know what I mean? It's not like the guys early on the prelims. These guys have been here a million times before. Both champions, both veterans in the sport. You know, this is a feeling that they're familiar with, but nevertheless, there's a lot of pressure on both guys, especially on Leon Edwards, fighting in his home country with basically everyone in this building tonight is here for Leon Edwards, and everyone's got expectations to win. He's got a lot of expectation on him. So can he do the job? We're going to find out.
And you know it's nearly party time because Baba O'Reilly's on. It's just gone up a level, hasn't it, Nick? Hey, he's the... Oh!
Here we go, back off.
Be careful.
Back off, Big Tom's throwing shots.
Guns are out, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, we are going to be switching over to BT Sport Box Office. Make sure you come and join us because this card is absolutely lit from start to finish. We know why we're here. It is the welterweight championship of the world. Leon Edwards getting the opportunity to defend his crown against one of the best, a man that is surefire to be entered into the Hall of Fame at some point, Kamaru Usman. Listen, lads, I'm going to put it on your toes. I'm going to put it right on you now. I'll let him go first, all right, to set you up.
Go first. No
Nick Peet, how does that main event play out?
For me, it's all Leon Edwards. I love that what he did in the first round, him taking the back of Kamaru, pushing for that submission. I fancy him to have a completely different gas tank. Here's Kamaru arriving, of course. Look at that suit, he's always stylish. But I think this is Leon's night. His reign begins tonight.
Right, Tom, agree, disagree? What are you thinking?
I completely agree with Nick. I think there's we're going to see how Kamaru Usman is tonight psychologically, because 6-7 months ago he was laid flat on his back with his eyes wide open, unconscious, and I think that's a very difficult thing to come back from mentally, and we're going to see how he performs this evening. But I'm going with Leon Edwards, of course, our guy.
Listen, they both look good. They're calm, cool and collected. This is the best sport in the world, and it all gets started on BT Sport Box Office right now.